generally speaking, though, you don't know what you're missing until you see it. Thankfully, the mod seems to bring the full range of DLSS advantages to the table. There are no drawbacks at all.
Not that I've found yet, anyway. Everything seems to work just fine, and like you say, the implementation of FSR2 is quite good. And you might be inclined to think it's perfectly fine, but then when you switch over to DLSS, you really realize, like, oh, okay, all those little edge cases where there was noise in the image or didn't look quite as sharp or clean or whatever, DLSS takes care of it, which I think does showcase how much more capable that still is. Although FSR2 is, I do think it's pretty good at this point, so I don't want to knock it for that. They've also added support for XESS via a mod. However, I have not tested that because it doesn't make sense to use it on an RTX card, right? But I would like to actually see how this game runs on Intel now that it's been updated, I think, to work, because I believe it's launched in a state where it didn't run on Intel's ARC cards at all.
Well, that's something that we're looking into, trying to get some which is
higher on the bar.
DLHV's had to get. It's a sponsored title because we've heard stories in the past about well, basically the way
prepare to exit to the right.
It isn't that Nvidia or AMD or whoever get the game on day one and just twiddle some knobs with a new driver out. It takes time, right?
Yeah.
For that, they need access to the game in its early stages or pre-launch by a good degree of time to get to grips with it, right? And I can understand if it is a sponsored title and there's bespoke integrations, right?
Sure.
That one vendor would probably not want the others to see those integrations, right? So I can imagine that is possibly what happened here. Who knows? But the point is that if a game like of this stature launches and you're not getting optimal performance from your GPU, I'd say that's arguably worse than blocking out vendor-specific features like DLSS because it's really not great. But that's something we're just going to have to talk about.
Please exit to the right at exit 171 in 2 kilometers towards Hope.
This game specifically, so we obviously were talking about this like lack of DLSS pre-launch, and lo and behold, it didn't turn out to be an issue thanks to modders. And I want to point out that is one of the key strengths for Bethesda sticking with Creation Engine, is that the moddability for this game is just off the charts. That's what has allowed these games to continue to remain popular for so long. Like, all the modding community is built around this, the tools that they provide, everything that they offer. It's such a moddable game in a way that a lot of games aren't, right? And you can see that straight away. Like, there is an argument to be said that maybe Bethesda should have implemented all these different things themselves, but at the same time, this modding is something that's really built. The game is built for this to be modular. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these mods eventually make their way into
Now exit to the right.
Hub 4 had mod support, right? So it's not impossible.
And Skyrim.
And Skyrim, that's right. The re-release or whatever.
Actually, while we're on this topic, this supporter question from Busy Tracks. ADF, what are your thoughts?
Please turn left in 500 meters onto Old Hope Princeton Way.
Leaf could be improved further after playing the game. Oliver, thoughts?
In terms of specific upgrades to Creation Engine, I'm not too sure because I didn't do like a lot of cross comparison of Fallout 4. But what I can say is that like a lot of the interior spaces just look absolutely beautiful. Like,
it thinks we have 165 kilometers.
Plastics and glass, thermometrics, all that stuff looks really, really good. Artificial areas look fantastic. In terms of areas that could probably still use some improvement, the character faces are, I would say, a pretty decent quality overall and are definitely a huge improvement, but there's some stuff there that's not amazing, obviously, but part of that is just a concession to how big these games are, I feel. The one area that I did think could use some improvement and was not great in prior Creation Engine games either is some of the stuff they have with foliage shading. The trees don't have natural self-shadows to me. The ferns, like if you go through New Atlantis, the lighting looks quite flat in a lot of foliage areas. So that's probably my biggest visual bugbear in this game, and I think it's something they could definitely improve a fair bit further to get it up to kind of par.
No, downtown Hope is
Yeah,
that.
some of the stuff they
is
have
that
with
left.
foliage shading, the trees don't have natural self-shadows to me. The ferns, like if you go through New Atlantis, the lighting looks quite flat in a lot of foliage areas. So
The shrubs
that's
are
probably
in the
my
way.
biggest,
I have
visual
to
bugbear
look
in
around the
this game.
shrubs.
And I think it's something they could definitely improve a fair bit further to get it up to good.
Please turn right in 300 meters onto Highway 1.
Listens to prior Bethesda games.
Lightly, yeah.
As titles. So, what do you think about the upgrades to the engine? I mean, well, from my perspective, I think Oliver nailed it, which is that the handling of materials is just outstanding.
Now turn right onto the destination street.
On what we saw in
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest change here. They actually shifted to the Forge, which is a cross-platform rendering framework that supports Creation Engine, of course. And that is likely they built on that, and
You will reach your destination in 500 meters.
what they had in the past with a lot of the modern features you expect from modern rendering. It looks really good. I do think that their VR pipeline, the quality of their indirect lighting, given that it's dynamic and not ray traced, is pretty impressive overall, despite some of the errors you can uncover. And generally, everything just has this level of granularity that we've never actually seen in a Bethesda game before. Where normally, if you just zoom the camera in and look close,
Now turn left and then turn left again.
they look very good, and you can really see it in Fallout 4. They don't hold up under close scrutiny, but that's not the case any longer.
Please turn right in 100 meters.
Technology scattered throughout the Starfield universe, I think, is shockingly good in terms